Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you know what time it is? It's time for Stucci and Russo Experience. Come on, gear up. Let's go.
You know what's funny, Rocky? I just realized when I was seeing that, I thought we were doing the Rocky and Russo Experience.
What did I say?
Well, I think you made the sign Stucci and Russo Experience.
I like Stucci, bro.
I know Stucci's a good name.
Yeah, you know, dude, I got to tell you a quick story before we go out here. When my boys were younger, all of my kids are on the spectrum of autism, high functioning. Can't even tell unless you know, right?
Right.
There was one time my son was in school. I think he was in second grade because this is what kids do. You know, he wasn't the easiest kid. You know, he kind of gave people migraines every once in a while. But there was one day, brother, where he went in and he pulled the fire alarm. He pulled the fire alarm in the school, but he didn't just do it once that day. He decided that the one time wasn't good enough. So he was going to go pull it a second time. So, you know, it caused an issue, but that's what kids do. But unfortunately, brother Russo, you know, we have a government that is run by children now. So, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the first edition, the Rocky and Russo Experience right here, Spreely TV, also broadcasting on the YouTubes and on the Facebooks and everywhere right now, just so everybody can say, hey, who are these guys, and kind of get to know us a little bit. But brother Russo, I love you, and thanks for sharing the seat with me, brother.
It has been my honor to do all of our practice. Are we talking about practice? Not a game. Well, today it's a game. So we've had a lot of practice running up. It looks like we got a lot of people in the chat. I appreciate you guys for hopping in. Put the comments up. Everybody start saying where you're from, all the things. Again, this is the official. Rocky and I have been talking about this for a while. Official first episode of this show. It's going to be on a lot of the different destinations. Truth will set you free with Casey. He'll still be here. We're not doing it this week. Casey is very busy. I'm hosting an event tomorrow. But Truth Tuesdays will still be around. But yeah, we're gonna be rocking and rolling. This is gonna have a nice little format. We're gonna have a little fun. It's not all politics. Talk a little bit about sports. Talk about dumb stuff like pulling fire alarms in Congress. You know, all the things.
It just doesn't surprise me anymore. It's just one of those things where you just read it, you're like, oh, okay. And you know what's really weird is that we'll get into it. I don't want to get ahead because my ADHD kicks in when we start talking about these cockroaches a little bit. But what was your original reaction? Are you even shocked anymore when you see this type of lunacy? Because swear to God, brother, if a Republican would have did something like this, my goodness, we would have heard about it for 6 months.
Well, we did. We got near the Capitol and people were arrested and left in jail for months just as citizens. But those that are paid and voted in to uphold the law are allowed to do things like this. Jamal Bowman is a perfect example during the quote unquote I word. I think that is right now in all the social medias the worst word. You can say vaccine all you want right now, but you can't say the word that rhymes with erection. Can't say that. But Jamal Bowman during the erection with INSA was the one that said nobody is above the law. And this is a guy that right now is going, he literally today got pulled over by reporters and he's like, why is this such a big deal? You pulled a fire alarm in a federal building. How does he not understand this?
Oh, we got a Minnesota in the house. Hey, Jay, bro, represent, bro. They say you hey, just so you guys know, down here, when you go to the restaurant, you say, I want a Coke. And they say, what kind? Then you say root beer.
That's a Minnesota thing, right?
No, that's a Texas thing.
What? No, it's not.
Minnesota, we want Pepsi.
Minnesota, I thought is pop. Isn't that a pop state?
Total pop. Total
pop state. Yeah. Corn pop state. That's Delaware.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm sorry, brother. I got ADHD triggered there. Welcome to the program.
Well, that's because you're from Minnesota. They breed ADHD. It's a big thing out there in their culture.
Well, that is a discussion we can have. Kind of conspiratorial, but go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
I do love Minnesota, though. Have we ever talked about Wee Fest? Have you ever been to Wee Fest?
Oh, my God, bro. I can't believe you're even bringing this stuff up. All right, you triggered me the other day when you talked about an event you did that was in a land that I was very familiar with.
Oh, I have talked to you about WeFest. That's
Oh,
right.
yes, brother. Absolutely. It is a great area, but you only get to live about 3 months a year. That's the only problem living up in like Illinois and Minnesota and North Dakota, Montana. You got to have some survivalism in you, and you got to have the ability to survive in very cold weather. Very,
Absolutely.
I mean, down here, let me tell you guys something. Down here, if it sizzles a little bit of snow, like a little like that, it shuts down for about 4 days.
Well, like they say, like there's a Dallas 10, like, in terms of the women. Say, oh, she's a Dallas 10. And in Minnesota, the scale is completely different because you have to think about warmth. You have to think about her size. A Minnesota 10 during the summer is very different than a Minnesota 10 during the winter. Minnesota 10 during the winter has an extra 40 or 50 pounds on her. That's just typically how it works. You need a little extra fluff, a little more warmth.
You know what I'm saying? We don't judge here. We don't judge. Did I really say Stucci and Russo?
On the that's pull the banner back up. It says Stucci. You actually put it on the banner. I didn't even notice when you sent that to me earlier. That's my bad.
I did, but it looks so much sexier.
It does. But you know what I was thinking earlier today? We say we said Rocci and Russo experience. You know what Rocci and Russo is? It's R&R. Rest and relaxation. So we're giving people a chance to rest and relax. Well, we'll decide something for next. I don't know how I didn't think of this earlier. I know.
Yeah, bro. It's, you know what? This is, folks, you just watched Genius in action right here. This is how we come up with stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, where are we at?
Well, we're still talking about this fire alarm thing because I want to get more into it because
this is where I was going to go with that. I was watching a thread today in regards to this type of behavior. And I don't know back in the days if Congress would ever have to write anything in their policies to not do things at such low levels. But what type of repercussions do you think should happen? Because there was intent behind it. This just wasn't a guy just hitting a fire alarm. There was intent behind his actions, and the intent is to hold up a vote.
Well, that's alleged. Rocky, that's alleged. He is saying that, and like I just did an Instagram video on this. He is saying that it was purely an accident. He was trying to get to the vote and he needed to go through the doors. What's funny, we need a little backstory on this guy because he is a previous educator. He was a teacher. He worked in schools. Yeah, there you go. Middle school principal. He actually, not only did he work as I don't know if it was a principal, it might have been, either way, he was an educator. He actually worked in emergency response for middle schools. So what is an emergency response talk about? Fire alarms. He was saying he did not know it was a fire alarm. If that's not lying through your teeth, I don't know what else is. Right. So if anybody knows what a fire alarm looks like, it's this guy. And he knows that if a kid does this in school, you get expelled. And the worst that they're saying is going to happen to him is that he'll get censured. But if you or me did that in the same federal building, it's punishable up to 30 years. And that's got nothing to do with stopping the vote. But that's just showing the level of what this is.
What's punishable for up to 30 years?
I guess because it's a federal building, I read that it's a 30-year offense if you threaten by illegal, like on purpose, maliciously. I think it was maliciously pulling a fire alarm in a federal building like the Capitol.
Well, okay, because that a lot of the J6ers, a lot of the reasons a lot of them got such extreme sentences was because it was in DC and what would be a gross misdemeanor anywhere else because it's in DC would be a federal crime. Could you imagine being somewhere locked up and, you're sitting next to some people, they're from the barrio, maybe a couple old G's, maybe a couple old school Bloods and Crips. They're talking about, yeah, I'm in for life of murder. I got busted. I had 20 kilos. Hey, what'd you do? Oh, I got 30 years. I pulled the fire alarm in school.
Do you know what's insane is that nobody, Rocky, what's crazy is that in all what happened on January 6th, I don't believe anybody actually pulled the fire alarm. All the different things that happened inside the Capitol, I don't think anybody pulled the fire alarm that day. And we're leaving out some because this guy's just a moron across the board because he's comedy from point A to point Z. Beginning of the football season, he actually said when because he's a New York fan, he's from the Bronx, but he's a Jets fan. He said that the Jets, once Aaron Rodgers went down, they need to call on the Lord and Savior. He didn't say Lord and Savior. They need to call on Kaepernick to save the day. To tell you somebody is not racially motivated about everything that they do, if you're calling on a 7-year not playing in the league quarterback as your savior, that just means all you care about is virtue signaling. And you also should have no opinion ever taken seriously ever again.
I think there should be a law or a rule in the NFL that when you start growing gray curlies on your balls, you can't be quarterback no more.
Yeah, if you start going gray curlies on your butthole, you shouldn't be president anymore. There was something on. I was watching Crowder today, and Crowder was saying how you've got Dianne Feinstein passed away, and you've got Joe Biden. If you're not qualified to work as a Walmart greeter, how in God's name are we allowing you to actually be in charge of our system in this country, our rights? It's mind-boggling. And I'm the honest question, Rocky. Do you think I know Feinstein should not be working at a Walmart. She was past that point. Right now, the only thing she's qualified to do, Diane, is vote because she's dead. So
she'll still get her votes in technically,
I'm sure.
That was nice, bro. That was nice. That was a nice drop. That was subtle. I didn't even feel it for about 4 seconds. Then it hit me in the chest.
Like, where are you going with this dead person? That can't go well. But you got Mitch McConnell. I mean, let's really think about it. Dianne Feinstein a week ago, Mitch McConnell, Fetterman, I think could work at Walmart. And then let's do Joe Biden. So those three. Do you think those three could actually get hired? Maybe not as a Walmart greeter, but could they work a register at a Walmart?
I'm really sorry to say this, and I'm going to apologize to everybody in advance, but I just visualized all of them trying to have sex with one another.
Wow. Wait, who's
Feinstein, Biden, Pelosi, Fetterman, all of them right there, bro. That's, dude, I mean, we could come up with a song just for the visual.
There would be some kind of hip hop group called Most Likely to Break a Hip Hop. Most likely to break a hip while hopping.
Yeah, hop, yeah, dippy.
A hip and a hip hop. I mean, it's bad news. And it's the state of our government right now, and it's just unfortunate. And now what I really want, on top of this guy that's got no actual he's virtue signaling a-hole. He later today, like recently, this is within the last hour, this news broke. The memo that he posted or that he put up, I believe, let's see, hold on. Maybe this wasn't from his mouth. Bowman expressed regrets he had not signed off, including the word Nazi. Okay, so he did not actually say it, but other people in his allies, I'm sorry, so this was actually misreported an hour ago. I believe Congressman Bowman, this is from the Democrats, from the DNC. I believe Congressman Bowman, when he says this was an accident, I don't know how. Republicans need to instead focus their energy on the Nazi members of their party before anything else. That's how you flip a script on BS.
Wow. Bro, I'm having the same computer issues you were having.
Oh, really? It's all right.
Every once in a while. Every once in a while.
That's all right. No, you're good. You're back.
So it's almost okay. So I'm kind of to a point in my life to where I do get a little insulted when people undermine my intelligence. You know what I'm saying? I kind of do. It's just like, I've kind of worked hard to be this dumb. So at least respect me as a dumb person, not an idiot, But when we sit here and we look at our political system, brother, honestly, I don't know what to say. I don't. We look at these people coming forward that are supposed to be intellectuals, a lot of them attorneys, well educated through the educational system, that are getting up and saying things like, oh, I totally believe that what he did was, it wasn't real. His intent wasn't to do something, and people will buy it. But here's the biggest kicker. I'm sorry, Mr. Becker, I got to say the name. The fact of the matter that we have a guy named Fetterman in office, the guy that shows up to press conferences wearing shorts and a sweatshirt, the guy who literally is not mentally capable to even wash his own underwear.
That's big underwear.
That's big underwear. And they probably have their own brain. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe some brown streaks. I'm definitely seeing brown streaks in
mustaches for sure.
Yeah.
But how is it that we sit here as a population of 300 some million people in this country, and we just like, goofy guy from the state? No, That is not what our political system is supposed to represent,
That's
man.
that we're saying that's the cream of the crop at this point.
That's what I'm saying. Really, that's where we're at. Ilhan Omar, Ocasio-Cortez, Fetterman, all these people are the cream of the crop looking out for the best interests of the republic? No.
Cream of the crop AOC last week had a great moment where she was busy not slinging drinks, and she was talking about the Ellis Island. Did you see her on that clip when she I think she knew as she was going, but instead of taking it down or saying my bad, she was talking about illegal immigration, and she was taking an 80-year span of Ellis Island and saying that there was far more than the amount of people crossing the border now, which is accurate. But that's 80 years to 2. And she didn't understand. It wasn't even double. Like, her lack of understanding. And we were also she's forgetting we were inviting people at the level. I mean, again, there's some dumb Republicans. That's why I'm wearing the "They Both Suck" shirt. Like,
well, honestly, and that's why I love the shirt. Order it, folks. Do me a favor. Order a "They Both Suck" shirt. Send us a picture, and we're going to share it on the show. Because here's the thing. Where are the freaking Republicans? I made a tweet. I hate Twitter or X or whatever they call it now. I never really go over there. Sometimes I'll just pop in to irritate somebody. But here's the thing, is that all these Republicans are giving us all the bread and circuses, and they're getting up during these little hearings, and they're getting really angry, and they're coming up with some really good voice clips, but they're not stopping anything from happening, and they're not being proactive. They are reacting to everything that's happening right now.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's scary.
Rose, I know you do have that shirt. We'll have to show it on the show. Rose, I think, has every one of our Awake Not Woke store shirts. So we don't have that on the bottom, but it's awakenotwokestore.com and use Awake for, actually, I got to create a code. I'll have code. Well, for now, do Awake for 15% off. We'll do a show code just for that 15% off, so we know that it's coming from our viewers, obviously.
And the website again is Wake Not
Awake.
Awake. Not
Awake.
woke.
Not, it's on the bottom there. I'm going to show my belly all freaky.
Yeah.
Awake.store.com.
Hey, one time I wore your hat, Awake or Awoke. Which one was it?
Awake, not woke. Right there.
No, it just had the single word on it. Where is it? I think it's
the big Awake across the top. You have that hat?
I do, bro. What's up?
Oh, nice. All right. I didn't remember that I gave you that hat.
Well, you did. Maybe I just saw it and I kind of thought you gave it to me. It could have been that kind of situation too. But I went to Walmart with that hat on, and then the Save the Children or Protect the Children shirt.
Yeah.
Answer me this question, and I'm going to ask this in a very serious tone to see what kind of response I get. Why is it when I go to a store like Walmart down here in Texas, and I'm wearing a shirt that says Save the Children or Protect our Children, why is it that people give me dirty looks wearing a shirt like that?
It depends, because some people, you'll get high five. It really just depends. It honestly, it's, I wear all my political stuff on airplanes, and I love to get, like, I can tell when I get the dirty looks. A lot of the flight attendants, it's 50-50. I'll get fist bumps and all that different stuff. So,
but why is it when it's, I mean, I wouldn't think with a shirt like Save or Protect the Children, you would think in your imagination that there probably wouldn't be anybody that would be upset or offended by that.
They've programmed people. It's like trigger. It's like kill the prime minister of Malaysia from what was that movie with Zoolander? So it's like that concept. They've programmed it into people's brains enough to where Save the Children is now associated with crazy right-wing conspiracy theorists, Republicans, because they've said it enough. I see where is it? The Mark Wenberg's comment up there. So I know we have different things to talk about, but it's interesting. Before we get into the rest of the show, so during the 2020, Russo during 2020, when there was intense pressure to get the smaxconation because you had so much information, side effects, etc., saved me from making a dumb mistake in getting that vaccine. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. I'm glad you didn't get it. Which leads me, I don't know what our 4 topics were, but I know one of them, but this is a new one. So I got to ask the question.
We're the boss. We can do whatever we want, bro.
So, 2 days from now is October 4th, right?
No, 1 day from now.
No.
Actually, you're right. Correct. My bad.
So again, I like to dabble in conspiracies when I can prove them. And here's the funny thing. October 4th, what's going on with the emergency broadcast system, Rocky?
Yeah, I guess we're all going to get brainwashed.
Okay, so you know what's going on. So what's interesting, as much as I don't believe this one, part of me is curious to see what will happen, because I will tell you then, this is if for anybody that watched Truth Will Set You Free from the beginning, which started in late March, early April of 2020. I had this weird belief, and I know people looked at me like I was absolutely insane, and this would match up perfectly. Actually, it was in March, but I don't think I had a show till April. It will match up perfectly to what they're saying would happen on October 4th. So in March, I was telling my friends, I go, the weird thing about this, because I know a little bit about 5G technology, and I know this is going to sound like a lunacy if it wasn't for October 4th and all these different things. And also, to be clear, I don't think October 4th is going to be what the conspiracy theorists think. I don't think they'll tell us what they're doing when they do it. But I said, I read something about Denmark at the time that they were going to make it law. They were going to make it law to get the vaccine when it came out whenever they came out, when there's a COVID vaccine, it's going to be law. And I go, that's convenient. I go, so there's going to be mRNA technology that is using nanoparticles in the system. And I go, nanoparticles, Casey. And Casey will remember this. Casey knows I said this in the very beginning. So there's going to be nanoparticles communicating with the 5G system. I go, this is probably the way that they're going to find a way to take us down, is with the communication of a forced, I even said forced vaccine that will have something in it that will engage based on 5G, because they were putting up all the new 5G towers. Because I can tell you, 5G doesn't work on phones. I would rather LTE any day of the week. 5G is garbage. So I'm like, it's very odd that this is happening. So at the end of the day, I did call what this conspiracy theory is. I called it in March. I don't think it's going to happen on October 4th, but I did say something very similar to this. So did Lori Ladd, by the way, after I did. I'm done talking. That's it. That's all I got.
So are we going to die?
I don't think so. I mean, we were Kelly.
There's so many times I can't keep up with all these end of world things, and all these, but dude, I gotta say, I am a conspiracy guy. I hold that badge wholeheartedly, but I would like to say that I'm not so much of a conspiracy theorist. I like to analyze certain points of history that are questionable. I guess that's the best way to put it, right? Because there are a lot of things that have been done in our history that are so damn dirty, and so goes against everything that we represent. And yet we live in the Truman world. We just live in this everything. It almost feels like we do live in the Truman world, and it just bothers the hell out of me. So what's the next step, brother? I mean, what are we going to do once the 5G takes us over? Chemtrails, injecting our atmosphere.
I'm not vaccinated. But the thing is, I could say I'm not vaccinated, which I'm not, but that doesn't mean that, if viral shedding was a thing, I mean, I don't know.
That's right, dude. I just learned about that, and shame on me for not knowing about. I didn't know that this could be shedded, and I'm like, well, what is shedding? I didn't know. I had no idea that you can literally get that. Was it RNA or whatever it is?
mRNA, yeah.
mRNA, just by licking someone's ear hole.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I don't know how far. We will see what happens. To me, it's kind of like, it's like programming. Why would they need to necessarily do that when, I mean, again, it's unless it's affecting our health, like we just talked about. Why do people believe random stuff already? It's like they've already been programmed. Maybe this mRNA signal, like Daryl Dixon is dealing with, that's funny. But maybe this mRNA signal is something that is related to something we'll hear on our computers or our programming, where it's like we hear certain words and it triggers. I don't know. Again, that's going so far. I have no idea. All I know is I did say something like this in March of 2020. That's all.
Casey is he's laying the gauntlet. He's laying the hammer pretty aggressively. I think he's crabby tonight a little bit. I'm kind of getting that vibe, but he says nothing is gonna happen on 10-4, period.
I'm gonna err towards the side of Casey. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think anything is gonna happen.
There's been a lot of things. We actually let me get that off. I keep forgetting to do that. We actually had a guest on, and we're talking about different points in history. They call it, and it's not going to be the exact term, but it's similar, the apocalyptic effect. And it's what people have done, and it's a pattern that has been going on since the day of Moses, where the leaders or who's ever in charge or the governments or whatever, the tribal chiefs, they create a fear into the people of, we're all going to die somehow. somehow there's going to be a flood or there's going to be a fire, or there's going to be some kind of apocalyptic event where we're all going to die. So do as I say, and we could beat this thing, but we got to do it very smart and be very diligent about it. But it has to be exactly how I say it. It's been like that forever. And here we are, another one every other week. It's apocalyptic shit, bro.
I think it's going to be like the Expendables 4. It's going to be like their slogan for it. They'll die when they're dead. That's the greatest
talking about, bro.
Greatest movie slogan of all time. I think it got 12 on Rotten Tomatoes, but greatest movie slogan of all time. They'll die when they're dead. I'm like, oh man.
I still watch it, even if I know it's going to be a bad movie, just because all those dudes in there, I'm just like, I'll hug them all.
I love the first Expendables was everything I wanted out of the remake of A-Team. It was great. And then it's just kind of the A-Team remake was hot, steamy garbage. Poo-poo.
So, folks, hey, just want to let everybody know this is the official first broadcast of Rocci and Russo experience. The Rocci and Russo, or the Stucci and Russo. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not feeling my soul. Folks, you're going to catch us live every Monday and Wednesday night. We're going to have a variety of topics. It's going to be goofy fun, but we're still going to cover serious topics. Also going to do some live call-in shows, but that's probably going to be when we have a little bit more time. Because we still got a lot of things to say, but we have some amazing companies that help us out and help support us. And we just locked one in today. So we're going to throw this out really quick. Verve, you guys all know a good friend of ours, TK Tim Clun.
I don't think they all know TK, but they should.
They should.
I don't like speaking in absolutes, Rocky.
Well, we'll make it within the next couple months. Everybody will know who he is, because you're going to see Anthony never mind. You're going to see Anthony with TK a lot. With some events coming up. We got some big ones coming up, by the way, but he is the owner and founder of Verve Spray Vitamins. I'm 50 years old, bro, and I am kind of in this health thing. You and I have talked about this. You're really conscious about your health, and I put a lot of vitamins, all different kinds of vitamins in my gut every single day. And actual studies, anybody can Google it. If you actually research spray vitamins, the absorption rate and the effects on the body. So without getting too long-winded, thank you, Verve Vitamin Sprays, for allowing us to be part of the family. They're sponsoring us. If you go to Verve Vitamin Sprays, I got it right here.
VerveSprayVitamins.com.
And use the code R&R, and get 30% discount off your order. R&R for Rocci and Russo. VerveSprayVitamins.com. We love you, TK. Appreciate you.
Erica, it is Rocci and Russo. Rocky. And we haven't even talked about it. Rocky's having a rough health week. So
no, Erica, I'll tell you so. I'll come and find you, okay?
Let's have the discussion. What's going on with your, oh man, did you see that wiggle like that?
I'm going to put that in slow motion.
It's not the first time something wiggled black in front of you like that for that long. Oh, can I tell a black wiggle story? And this is going to be way too much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Russo with his black wiggle story.
And it is exactly what you think it is. This is not a joke. I was working out at Lifetime Fitness in Frisco, and Michael Irvin was, oh God, no, it's just me. So Michael Irvin, I love that you don't want to be on screen for this. Probably a good idea. So Michael Irvin, you know what? If you've ever been to Lifetime, was it Lifetime? Anyways, the big ones. The nice ones. I walk in the locker room. There's mirrors on one side. Then there's the lockers on one side, mirrors on the other. And as I'm walking, Michael Irvin is getting out. He must have just gotten out of the shower. And all I can tell you is it as he was drying himself. And the only reason I know for this long is because I tried to look away, but there's a dang mirror there. And as I look and I see, I'm like, oh, what? Michael Irvin. And then it was wiggly. It was so long that it went left, and then it went right, and then it went left again. And I couldn't look away, because you look this way, you're looking at him. You look this way, you're looking at the mirror at him. You look this way, you're looking at him. And I just had to keep walking. I will never forget that. That was about 10 something years ago. That thing took more turns than a Autobahn turnpike thing.
Like you need a GPS just to touch it?
I don't know what that was.
Damn.
I've never felt more inadequate in my life.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have wanted to be in the dude anymore.
Huh?
It had a left and a right?
It had a left. Fact. It had a left and a right. Because when you're drying yourself, like things are shaped. Like for me, the only thing that moves when I'm drying is my belly.
I totally understand.
Yeah, but not the pain. Like the light for me, a light switch only has one direction. For him, however, this thing was it was giving. If there was an English woman's voice on GPS, it'd be like, take a left after the curve and then take a right.
What?
Yeah, this is real.
Next time I see him, I'm gonna be like, bro, show me the dragon, bro. Show me the dragon.
Can we get sued for libel for a compliment of somebody's penis? I don't know.
I was like, hey man, I just heard, and we got to bet. We got to bet. You can go show somebody else and they can tell me.
I hear things.
Dude, that is freaking awesome. I played semi-pro football and there was only me and two other white dudes on the whole team.
So you guys showered with bathing suits on.
Can I be honest with you, dude? Just one time. I'm going to be honest with everybody. I'm telling the honest to God truth. There is one time I did shower with my underwear on. Dude, I never felt more like a schoolboy in my damn life. I mean, dude, I think I went through a little depression after that. Honest to God, I think I did. I was like, I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, what'd you do to me, bro? I mean, what is this shit? Those statues that you see in Greece, I'm like, that shit's real. Okay.
Yeah, I'm David. Like when Kelly makes fun of when Kelly is like, well, that's disappointing for a man of your size, 6'2", 215 pounds. So all I say is I go, have you ever seen the statue of David? It's accurate. Nothing wrong with that. Grower, not a shower. Okay, moving, but let's be serious for a split second, Rocky. What's going on with I know you were at the doctor today with somebody coughing all over you. What's going on? Because I know you might have some surgery coming up. I don't even
know. So I had a bunch of stuff happen a year ago. I got a couple more hernias. But they want to do some more MRIs and stuff. They just want to check some other things out. I'm not having an easy time with this, bro, to be honest with you. It takes a lot for me to actually admit it. And I'm going to say this, man, I realized how small my world is, as big as it seems to everybody, and as many hands as we shake and as many names that are in our Rolodex. When it comes to fighting the monsters in life, you're going to realize real quick your brothers and your sisters. And that's okay, because everybody has craziness going on in their life, and you can never be mad at people. Don't expect things from people. The right people are always there for you. I got brother Russo. He checks up on me. TK checks up on me. Ron Phillips checks up on me. Some of you watching, you check up on me. I may not always respond. I may just give you a heart because sometimes I'm just in a funk. But thank you, man. And it's the realism of life, and it's the rawness of life. And we have to just kind of, in weird ways, and I resist a lot of it, bro, and I'm getting better at it. But I really do sometimes think people suck. And I think that a lot of people talk a lot of shit, and they don't practice what they preach. And it's just like, you don't have to pretend to be something. I mean, I would much rather be around people that will come to me and admit that, yeah, most of my life I've been a piece of shit, because at least you always know you're going to have the real person in front of you. And that is my life and my circle. I got Russo. He knows my problems. I know his, and he fights through life just like I do, but we look out for one another. And I'm grateful for all you guys for your continued support. Hard for me to complain when I'm hanging out with little kiddos with lifelong disabilities. Very hard for me to complain when people would pay to have my problems. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, but I love you guys, and everybody, please stay healthy. There is much of our life we take for granted until we have issues. We don't realize how much of our stomach we use until we start having stomach issues, just like if we have back issues or knee issues. We don't realize how much of that part we use until we actually have a problem with it and realize how debilitating it is. And then we pray to have that back. So stay healthy and do the best you can to give yourself a good, mentally healthy life, because I'm challenged with some things right now and we're working through it. You know what I mean? Thank you, bro.
There was first, I got to say, I'm looking at the chat. It was bad timing to do penis jokes before you got serious, because it goes back and forth between making jokes about inchworms and then also saying prayers, Rocky. And then you've got Light Switch Crew.
It kind of all comes together because I have a third nut.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I'll show you.
Some people are uniball. You've got a third testicle?
Well, so where my hernia is, it's on my right, but when it pops out, because it pops out, it looks like a ball.
Weird.
I will show you my 3 testicles.
No, I'm good. I fully believe you. I mean, but
I
that
really
is,
wanted to show you, okay?
I feel like that's like a, people have webbed feet. I feel like you've got a webbed ball. You've got like 3 little
You know,
toes.
I tell that, and it's so far from the truth, though. It's up and over to the right, but I always tell people I got a third nut because it creates such an interesting conversation.
You know, I, with all the talk about health, I've been bad. I talk. I do motivational speaking sometimes, and I've talked about some of the stuff because whenever I work out, I listen to like Motiversity and different stuff like that. And we talk about our lately that's been popping up a lot when we talk. He's so whiny. Three nippled love interest. That's a
I would totally check that. See, I'm a man of science, right? So, okay, sorry, Russo, but if
no. You're good.
some
Go
girl
ahead.
came up to me and she goes, "Hey, don't tell anybody, but I got a third nipple," I'll be like, "I'm totally down. All right, I'm totally open minded for shit. If you got a third nipple, let's check that shit out. Let's go. I like milk."
Bing, 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 bing. There's this whole discussion about like creating a legacy or
Yep.
being somebody, and I think the in thing right now when you're talking about it is legacy only goes so far. People are using this reference a lot that 100 years from now, no matter how great you lived your life, no matter how much money you made, they want to see your balls. No matter how much money we made in our lives, at the end of the day, it's not going to last but a generation, 2 generations, maybe 3 generations. You think of somebody like Washington, George Washington, 1776. He did something that he had no idea probably that would leave this everlasting legacy as one of the few people that we remember. But if you think of all the other great people that lived in the 1700s and early 1800s, how many people do we know of in our history books? 6,
Yep.
7?
Yep.
Out of millions, then hundreds of millions of then in the world. So I think what we have to start realizing is we're trying to build a legacy that our next generation, the next generation can live by. But at the same time, we have to truly enjoy our lives. We have to enjoy the people that we are around. We can't get too stressed out over politics. We can't get too stressed out of our careers because I know we're trying to build a legacy, but the legacy we need to build is also realizing that we have one life. Whether you want to believe in reincarnation or not, we can get into that conversation a different day.
Oh,
But you're either way, if you're reincarnate, you're not going to remember this life anyways. So live it to its fullest. Be good to people. Be kind. And yes, you need to make money. You need to strive for greatness because that's how you're going to enjoy your life. That's how you're going to enjoy your last 20 years on this planet. But Tim Wakefield passed away this week, who was pitching in the major leagues 13 years ago, and he died of an inoperable brain tumor. It can happen so fast. Rocky, although you're going through health problems, and God willing, everything's going to come out of it. But at
yeah.
the same time, if 8 years ago we were to tell you this is what you'd go through, you wouldn't know. So you have to truly enjoy your life. You have to enjoy what you're doing and the people you're around. So if you're not enjoying it, change it. That's and that's I think the pep talk I'm going to give you guys on this one.
But and it's all truth right there, though, because everything you said, I had to learn the hard way, bro. A lot of things 10 years ago, 8 years ago changed. 6 years ago changed to that 8, and vice versa. And as 6 years became 4 and 3 and 2, there's been a tremendous evolution in my understanding of life, especially in this industry and understanding the greater world, right? When you get into the world of the influencers, you see the world differently, right? You're seeing things behind the scenes and you're seeing a lot of manufactured realities. And it's really made me step back because the things I was chasing 5 years ago aren't the things I'm chasing now. A lot of things I'm chasing now is legitimate sanity, and wanting to truly make a difference in this world because I know what pain feels like. I got plenty of that. We all do. We've all been through things, right? But what can we do with the understandings that we have in our life, the bumps, the hurdles, the obstacles that we've all faced? What can we do to say, you know what? I'm not going to be a piece of shit for the rest of my life, pissed off at what I did and be a victim of the products, of my actions. I'm going to go out there and say, you know what? I can make those wrongs right, and I can go out and be a better person and make this world bigger than myself, just like what we do already. And there is a huge reward to that because my paychecks create a happiness that pay my bills. But when I go to these events, the miracle leagues and all those kind of events, that's a spiritual experience. That's a wholesome experience. That's an experience that's bigger than me that I can't even grasp sometimes on how I feel emotionally. And I feel so part of it. That's the difference, I guess, sometimes on our whys. And folks, your why will change, man. It'll change. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm looking at what I posted. There's probably gonna be a noise made because I want to see what her page is. But I posted something on my Facebook. The girl's name is Lily, who's got like this skin disorder where her skin doesn't grow.
Dude, I started bawling.
She has no collagen. Did you see what I posted,
I
Rocky?
was so mad at you for that, bro. I was so mad at you because I watched the whole thing and people suck. It's just, and there's another video that I saw too where another boy, he's like, my only social network I have because of my disabilities, because you can't go in the sun,
Right.
it was through social media. And then you get these people that got to go on there and just kind of flap their gums. I know people will talk to them.
Most people are decent though, and I think we have to like that. That's my takeaway when you look at it. And her TikTok name is, I know we got a lot of people that are anti TikTok. I do not post on TikTok anymore, but I might go back because at this point they all suck. But her page is GRWMWITH Lily8, and she's got a huge following. And she literally, we have no idea how old she is. We do a lot of makeup or she does a lot of makeup tutorials. And
Her
it's a girl
hands
that
are
has,
rubbed together.
yeah, and it's amazing what she does. And it's one of those, like you said, whatever you're going through, and even to somebody like Wakefield's dying day, we've had a great life, and we can't imagine somebody with what she's going through is that positive.
Bro. And that's why sometimes I have my days, and I do go dark. And it's been a long year where there's a lot of different things. There's days where I'm just like, I don't think I'm going to make it through. But yet here we are. You know what I mean? Here we are, still pushing forward, still having our good days. But you see people like this young lady, or that young kid on there, or you meet the parents of somebody, like I told you about that girl who was 13 years old who committed suicide because people were so cruel to her.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a whole world out there just screaming. And when we say that we're alone, there's other people out there that are just as alone as we are, and they can use some companionship too. And I think, brother, just the fact that we even have this conversation is recognizing that it's real, and that somebody out there is hearing this conversation. Somebody else is going to be now a little bit more aware of it and maybe make somebody else's day better. Maybe we just started something really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a comment made.
And we both cry over puppy videos.
I mean, either one works. So again, if you're trying to be inspired, Rocky, on what to do in order to make more money, I think there was a suggestion a ways up saying time for Rocky to start an OnlyFans for those who want to see the triple testicles.
I'll show you more than that. I'll show you the Rocky Mountains. I'm not even scared.
The Rocky, what is that? You upside down?
No. That's when you zoom in on your butthole really close and then put a frost effect to it, and it looks like the Rocky Mountains.
Kelly's in the room. She goes, I've never zoomed in on my butthole, but for some odd reason, I don't know if I believe her or not.
Hey, do it, bro. Do it tonight. Russo, do it tonight. And just let Kelly look and let her validate. You may have the Grand Canyon. It all depends on where you grew up. You know,
the Grand Canyon is dry. I'm very hairy, so it's going to look more like the Amazon rainforest back there.
I'm sorry, Kelly. I didn't know you were in the room. I would have been more appropriate. I would have said anus.
You guys, have you met Kelly in person yet, Rocky?
Yes, bro. Yes, I met her at the event.
Oh yeah, the event this year. What am I talking about? He was with the camera, the guy coming around. Kelly was still focused on rodeo at the time. So
I very much enjoy. There's another thing when we talk about things in life, dude, about passions and desires. Watching Kelly with her barrel racing and everything that she's doing is, man, that's work, bro. That's work.
More than work.
Yeah, hats off to her. And while we have Russo giving the sexy eye over to Kelly.
I was actually looking at the dog doing his.
Oh, no, you weren't, bro. I saw there was no dog eye. That wasn't. I hope that wasn't dog eye contact, because if there is, then we got some conversations with HR we need to have.
Kelly finds it weird that I smother my. I don't tongue my. Rocky, you've got a dog that you're very close with. Do you kiss the dog's face?
Negative.
Why not? Yes. Why not?
Because I knew that's what Kelly wanted to hear, and that's the answer I'm giving.
You're a smart man. You're a very smart man. I love the smell. I do not tongue my dog.
Wait, you love the smell of what?
The dog smell. I like his brand. Like, I love the way Kelly smells, and I love the way my dog smells. It's different. Like, I don't get a hard on from sniffing my dog.
So no pink red rocket stuff going on?
No, the light switch stays off. The dog might get a red rocket. That's not on me.
What is going on here? I love this conversation.
Once you got the butthole, you threw it a gigantic wrench, Rocky. So wait, what was that? We were going to talk. Let's talk.
A gigantic wrench is watching somebody with a garden hose clean the penis of a male horse.
Yeah, that's happened.
That traumatized me because I thought they were joking. I didn't know that was a real thing.
Oh,
I didn't
actually, do
know
you
that's
know
what they did.
what are the things called? The little nodules on a horse penis, Kelly?
The what?
The not when you have to clean the horse penis.
What do you make me think really gross things? What do you mean by nodules?
It's a bean. So you have to
bean?
beans on the horse penis.
What? Wait, they grow on the horse?
Sweat and dirt gets trapped in these little things, and every so often you have to clean the sheath. Is that what it's called? Clean the sheath. You clean the sheath.
Why are you doing it like that for, bro?
Because horse penises are very big. The sheath are very big. Okay, so let's talk Travis Kelce and what?
Dear God, why?
Yeah.
Fun of it. This is why she's never allowed in the room when I had. This is the rare occasion she comes in.
I love this though. This is real life. Yell at him again, please. So,
can I explain why I'm telling the story, Rocky? Because apparently the peanut gallery needs to go back to riding horses. So this is the reason, because I made a joke on social media about drinking games. I said, if you played the drinking game to how many times they showed Taylor Swift during the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't clean my horse's doodles, Carolyn. You might want to, if it's a male, you got to look at you got to check the peen. Check the beans on the peen. Anyways, so Taylor Swift, I said, if you were playing the drinking game, that every time they showed Taylor Swift you drink, you're probably just now waking up in the hospital. It turns out I don't care about Trav. I don't care about Kelce and Tay. What I do care about is my joke became actual reality when I found out a plane leaving Buffalo from horse penises to Taylor Swift put a transition. That's pretty good. Well done, Mary. But there's a flight leaving Buffalo. I've got literally 3 dogs fighting next to me, Kelly in my ear, and I'm trying to tell a story. So they were trying to leave Buffalo, and they were the flight was stuck on the tarmac, and they were playing the drinking game with shots with whatever the alcohol, because they were stuck on the tarmac. They ended up having to turn around because somebody threw up on the airplane early in the game while they were playing the drinking game out there, because they were playing every time they showed Taylor Swift. Man, that was a really tough story to tell. And why does she still have bangs? Can somebody tell me?
What? Dude, why is she so popular all of a sudden? I don't care who she's screwing, and I don't like none of her music. Why do I have to see her every day on TV all of a sudden? Where'd she come from?
Well, the fact is that there's, if you, not the fact, I don't want to say fact. The theory is she's a huge plant for the Democratic Party. She has always been a big lefty supporter, a big fan of, ever since she stopped being the ultra Christian. She became the person that is talking about pride and leftist policies and all this stuff. And do you find, I'm going to kill you.
Resist.
She's literally targeting the dogs. But anyways, what was I saying?
Dude, you got ADHD going on right now.
This is you have no idea what's happening next to me. Travis Kelce is also now doing Bud Light ads, ironic, and Pfizer ads, ironic. So you've got a power couple that is all over the media right now. We're not helping because we're talking about them, but I just want to talk about the drinking part. But if you want to know why this couple, there is no bigger prop for propaganda of the machine. That's the problem, and that's why they're getting so much attention.
Edward Bernays, how he got Hollywood involved with politics, so all the fans of the biggest stars will sit there and vote for him.
Exactly.
Dude,
exactly.
That is, we're going to look back 50 years from now, and we're going to look at history. Man, we're going to be like, we messed up big time. So does Kelly think having sex with a ghost is technically cheating?
God, when did I've had this conversation before. That's super
I asked you this.
Ghost.
Yeah. So Kelly, if you can hear me, if Anthony woke up in the middle of the night and there was some play going on and he realized that there was nothing there, so it was a ghost, but he allowed it to happen, would that technically still be cheating?
So she's thinking about it, but I'm going to tell a story.
I know she is, dude. I know she's.
I'm going to tell a real story. I don't think I've never told Kelly this story. So I know some people and they watch some of my content, so I'm going to be careful. I'm not going to say any names or whatever.
No,
But
say names.
a wife was married to a husband. The husband was believing that he was coming up with his own religion at one point. I think this was
Okay.
after the fact, so he was a little bit odd already.
I was thinking about that, but go ahead.
And he paid a woman, paid a person, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, that apparently wrangled ghosts. And she found a text chain of very detailed instructions, paying for, by the way, a ghost prostitute to come in the middle of the night
What?
and have sex with him while his wife was in the same bed.
Dude, I'm a pimp. I should have known. You should have had them call me. I got a whole boatload
Stable
of
of
ghosts.
ghosts. That is a 100% true story, and that was
How
like part of
much?
the whole divorce proceedings. And I don't. Were they separated at the time? Either way, he was paying because he had kids in a room or whatever.
Oh, the
yeah,
kids saw it?
He was sleeping with a
I know,
ghost.
but you said while his wife was in bed.
I think while his wife was in bed. I don't know. I don't remember the time. This is 10 years ago, but I can tell you, regardless, she found the text messages where he paid real money for a fake person to come in and fornicate with him. And his one request was, don't go near my children's room. It's creepy. Then he tried creating his own religion. So back to the thing. If I were to start thrusting in the air, Kelly, and nobody was there.
Say that, okay? You didn't need to say that part because now I'm visualizing you with the hairy chest thrusting in the air. Oh, I'm kind of hot.
Kelly's so confused. Anyways,
here's the thing that Kelly's thinking of. I'm not assuming, and I'm not saying she is, but this is where I'm finding a trend. The question is that okay, if you were allowing a ghost to have sex with you, you can't physically see. So who were you thinking of?
I don't know. Well, if you're smart and you're a man, you say that I was, of course, thinking of Kelly.
That's the correct answer.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, that's it. Simple. Probably one of your ex-boyfriends that didn't have a light switch. All right.
Okay. All right.
You missed the earlier conversation. We're talking about Michael Irvin's penis. Anyways, that's
awesome.
not a light switch. That's a whole anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hon. So by the way, water, but I just noticed, by the way, it's misspelled in the bottom. It's Century. You spelled it with the S, but it's Century H2O, SENTR H2O.com. Use Russo 10, get 10% off. So again, that's Century H2O. This is just, I actually poured it into this bottle. I go straight from the tap. It's a $300 system if you use the discount, and that gets you water for the whole year straight out of your sink. Piece of cake. And this is all the water I've been drinking. I drink over 100 gallons per day. I'm also down, what, Kelly, about 20 pounds? About 20. Kelly actually said I look muscly. I drink a crap load of water. She said because of the fact that I have been drinking so much water and I look fit, she would prefer to have sex with me instead of the ghost.
I agree.
You're welcome.
I agree. I would too.
Welcome, America.
Anyways,
so that's what we got. What other, we want to make sure before we do if we have a last subject, what do we talk about? We talked about the clothes. We talked about the Century H2O. Did you talk about My Pillow yet?
No, but we were talking about getting you slippers because Mike Lindell has us hooked up. Just go to mypillow.com, use the code Meatball. They got awesome deals going on. And this is what I said. I am not saying this because I will not get anything else but a My Pillow for a pillow. That's all I will get for the rest of my life. I swear to God. I am having some sent to you, Russo. And Kelly, you too. Just try the pillows out and seriously give me your most honest review of it because I want to get the body one. I want to spoon with the body.
Kelly sleeps with a pillow between her legs, so I feel like for her back. But whatever you send Kelly, one of the things you send her is going to be between her legs.
Bro, why are you getting all graphic?
I'm just telling you, that's just the way it is. Last night, I can tell a funny story. Last night, Kelly had an edible, and
dude, I love edibles.
So it was only 5 milligrams, it wasn't that much, but I got home from the gym and she was whacked. I looked at her eyes and her eyes were just like, I'm like, what did you take?
What did you guys talk about?
What?
What'd you talk about?
So this is the funny part. So we were watching what's it? Love is Blind season 5. That's our guilty pleasure together. And we're watching it, and she was like, she's focused, and I turn and I look at her and I went like this. I was like, and then I turned back to the TV and she's like, what? And I go, did you want to watch another episode? So I'm playing. So then I did it a second time where it was like, turn somebody else. And she's like, no, you did it again. And I'm like, what? I'm just asking because I said, because it's late, we can go to bed. And she was whacked out of her mind. It was hilarious.
Well, one time, it was probably like 5 years ago, I took a really strong edible, and this was the first time I ever took it. And I was so loaded that I looked at her little chihuahua. And when she was looking back at me, I thought like she knew, and she was very disappointed with me. And it literally made me sad.
Do you ever look at the dogs and feel like they're disappointed if we have an edible?
They know.
Yeah, she said, I feel like they judge.
They do judge.
Yeah.
They absolutely do judge. Hey, folks, if you guys just noticed, you know what? It's 7:00 at night when we do this broadcast. So you guys have heard a lot throughout the day. So this is how we kind of cover what's going on in the world, but we can still keep it lighthearted. And you're not going to leave this show angry. We're going to have some really good, fun conversations. And this is why I'm super excited to look at the Rocky Mountains with Russo.
Rocky Mountains. Well, I just left the Rocky Mountains, and I think that's how we'll wrap it up. And this is not about your testicles. It's not about Rocky Mountain oysters. Okay, so
wait, I heard my balls.
She said, if your balls are Rocky Mountains, what are yours? That was her way of
huge balls.
I have very large undercarriage.
Are you really? Tell me more.
Yeah, so if she goes to reach and grab at the end of the night, this is not a joke. I know we just made fun of Light Switch Larry, but the balls, they often fall between the legs, and they have to be like pulled out, like almost like you're doing rope work at the gym in order to get them lifted up. Yeah.
Dude, it just sucks when you flush them down the toilet, dude. That sucks because it hurts. It leaves stretch marks. You know what I'm saying?
I like it because if the toilet water is high enough while I'm going to the bathroom, I also get to rinse them at the same time and give that nice cold water sensation.
It's like a bidet without being a bidet.
No, it's a ball day.
Take us home, brother. Take us out.
Anyways, ladies and gents, we're going to be doing this again on Wednesday night. We're doing this 2 days a week. Make sure you're following us on all the different things. Spreely TV. Make sure you check out that app. Make sure you've downloaded that one way or another. You check it out online. This is also on both of our social media pages. Please share this stuff out there. We got a wide range of topics. We will be doing call-ins once we get a little bit more comfortable with the format. Looks like Erica is glad the meatball is back. I hope you guys have a great evening. God bless. A whole bunch of things. Again, like this video, share this video, do all the things you can to this video. And if anybody's following college football, I'll be in the Ohio State University this weekend. If you're from Columbus, come and stop by. With that said, take it easy. Good night. Good fight. Deuces.